the pace of AI development right now is it's absolutely breathtaking, isn't it?
It really is. Just relentless.
Yeah, and every time a major breakthrough hits the headlines, like
Mm-hmm.
OpenAI's GPT-5 model that
Yeah.
everyone's waiting for, there's this immediate question.
Right. How long till the next thing?
Exactly. It's rarely if. It feels like it's always when. And that's precisely the fascinating question we're diving into today. Our source material for this one is, well, it's particularly interesting, excerpts from an article titled The Fleeting Reign of GPT-5.
Okay.
What makes it so different is that it doesn't just, speculate. It actually asks other AIs to predict the timeline.
Ah, AI predicting AI. That is interesting. So our mission today then is to really unpack these predictions that the AIs themselves made, explore the timelines they're suggesting, which are surprisingly varied, and then dig into what this incredible pace means, for the future of AI, for businesses, innovation, and, well, for you, whether you're using this stuff, building it, or just trying to keep up.
Okay, so let's set the scene. GPT-5, it's coming soon, right? The article says in maybe a few weeks from now.
Although one of the AIs we'll talk about, K2, pins it to summer 2025. So, soonish. Definitely highly anticipated.
And everyone seems to agree it's rightly touted as a very powerful, game-changing model. That's the quote.
Yeah, the hype is definitely there.
So here's the tension, the real head-scratcher.
Mm.
If it is that powerful, that game-changing,
Yeah.
how long can it actually stay on top in this kind of competitive space?
Right.
And this is where the article gets really focused, giving us this unique angle on just how fleeting that dominance might be.
And I think the article's core idea here really nails the current feeling in AI. It basically says, never bet against things getting much better much sooner than expected.
Good advice these days.
It really is. It's not just a catchphrase. It's like the fundamental way we probably need to look at these predictions, given the speed we're seeing. And that leads us to the method the author used, which I thought was quite clever.
The AI predicting AI part.
Exactly. The author kind of works from this idea that, well, current AIs can probably predict AI progress as well as our human experts, maybe even better in some ways.
Okay.
So to test that, they just asked a few different AI models, how long will it take competitors to catch up with GPT-5?
It's pretty meta, isn't it? AI predicting its own future, essentially.
Yeah.
But it does make you wonder, what are the challenges or maybe the unique insights when an AI does that? Are they just crunching data, or is there something more like a digital foresight?
That's a really good question. I mean, we can't know for sure if it's true foresight, but what they are doing is processing patterns in absolutely massive amounts of data, way more than any human expert could.
Right.
They're looking at, past releases, research papers, development trends, maybe even chatter in developer communities. Who knows? So it's very data-driven, less intuition-based than a human forecast might be.
Okay, so let's get into it. Let's unpack what these different AIs actually predicted. And maybe we can group them, starting with the really fast ones, the most aggressive timelines.
Sounds good. So first up, we have the most aggressive take, the within weeks prediction.
Weeks. Wow.
Yeah. K2 comes right out and says that within weeks of GPT-5's summer 2025 release, rivals, it mentions Anthropic, Google, DeepSeek, will match or surpass its headline performance.
Headline performance. So the main capabilities people notice,
Yeah.
not necessarily every single feature.
Exactly. The big visible stuff. And K2's reasoning for this incredibly fast catch-up, it says this echoes how quickly GPT 4.5 was eclipsed earlier this year. So it's looking at very recent history.
Weeks. That's almost hard to wrap your head around for something supposedly game-changing. You'd barely have time to explore it before the competition catches up. Are the others that optimistic or maybe pessimistic, depending on your view?
Well, the next group pushes it out a bit, but still incredibly fast. They're talking about a few months.
Okay, a few months. Who's in that bracket?
So first, there's 4.0. It predicts within 2 to 4 months of GPT-5's release, either open source models or other big company models will likely match its performance.
2 to 4 months. Still blazing fast.
But 4.0 adds a really important condition. It says this is especially if no major architectural leap is involved. Meaning, if GPT-5 is mostly a refinement, like a much better version of existing structures, think a more powerful engine in the same car design rather than something totally new, like a completely different type of vehicle altogether. If it's not a huge architectural jump, then catch-up is faster.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Who else is in the few months camp?
Then you've got Grok 4. It predicts within 3 to 6 months after its release.
3 to 6 months.
And Grok 4 bases this on, again, the accelerating pace and historical patterns, pointing out how labs like Anthropic, Google, Meta usually caught up to previous GPTs within months to about a year.
Okay, so looking at the track record.
Exactly. And R1 also lands in that same 3 to 6 month window. It predicts other developers will likely match GPT-5's core performance within 3 to 6 months.
Core performance again.
Right. And R1 points to open source advancements and competitive pressure as the drivers. You know, the open source community moves incredibly fast because so many people are collaborating and building on each other's work.
That makes sense. Lots of eyes, lots of hands.
But R1 adds a similar caveat to 4.0, noting that matching specific specialized capabilities or full integration might take longer.
So the basic power might be matched quickly, but maybe not the niche skills or how well it plugs into everything else.
Precisely. Getting it embedded deeply into products and workflows could take more time.
Okay, so we've got weeks, we've got a few months, still incredibly short reigns. What about the AIs that gave GPT-5 a bit more breathing room?
Right. So moving into the slightly longer timelines, predicting catch-up within 6 months to a year plus, we have 2.5 Pro.
2.5 Pro, okay.
It anticipates competitors matching or surpassing GPT-5 within 6 to 12 months of its release. And its reasoning is pretty similar to the others, basically. Intense competition and accelerating pace of AI development. It's becoming a common refrain.
Yeah, it seems like everyone agrees on why, just not exactly how fast.
Pretty much. And then finally, we have Sonnet 4. It gives the longest time frame in this particular sample.
And it is.
Sonnet 4 predicts catch-up within 12–18 months of its release.
Okay, a year to a year and a half. That feels slightly more traditional, I guess. Still fast, but not weeks.
Relatively speaking, yes. And Sonnet 4's reasoning is also grounded in historical patterns, specifically noting that competing labs have typically matched breakthroughs within 6–18 months. But it also explicitly states an assumption. This prediction holds if GPT-5 represents a significant advancement over current models, if it's truly a big leap.
Right. So the bigger the leap, potentially the longer the lead. But even then, maybe only 18 months max, according to Sonnet 4.
That seems to be its calculation, yes.
It's astounding, really.
Yeah.
You look at the whole range from weeks on one end to maybe a year and a half on the other, but all of them, every single AI predictor here, points to a very, very short period of dominance for even a game-changing model.
It really does. The consensus is clear. Leads are temporary and likely getting shorter.
So, taking all this in, what does this rapid-fire prediction landscape actually mean for you, the listener? How should you process this?
Well, what's really striking, I think, is that these AIs themselves are generating the spectrum of predictions. It suggests that even our best tools for seeing the future are dealing with just incredible uncertainty and speed.
Yeah.
So the key insight for you, maybe, isn't just about GPT-5. It's that in this kind of environment, knowing specific facts is less valuable than being adaptable. It's about learning how to quickly evaluate new information, how to understand the why behind these changes, especially when the experts giving predictions are algorithms that are also constantly changing.
So less about memorizing the current best model, more about understanding the trend of rapid change.
Exactly. For businesses, it screams agility. You can't have rigid 5-year plans for AI integration. Your investment cycles and strategies need to be incredibly flexible because the state of the art is shifting under your feet. And for individuals, whether you're learning skills or just trying to stay informed for your career, it means accepting that AI expertise isn't a fixed point you reach. It's a continuous process. You have to keep learning, keep updating, keep figuring out how to apply the current tools, knowing they'll be surpassed soon.
And even the way the AIs reason differently is interesting, K2, focusing on the immediate past. Sonnet 4 on longer trends.
Yeah, that highlights that even AIs have different approaches, different biases based on their training or focus. So for us humans, it reinforces the need to get multiple perspectives, understand the underlying assumptions.
That's such a powerful takeaway. This deep dive really shows that even these huge leaps, like GPT-5 is expected to be, are likely destined for a, fleeting range, just like the article title says. Competitors are right there, ready to pounce, maybe in months, maybe even weeks. It's like a tech arms race on hyperspeed.
It really is. Which brings us to a final thought, something for you to consider. Given that even the most advanced AI models, the absolute cutting edge, are predicted by other AIs to be matched so quickly, how should you personally think about state-of-the-art now? Does this constant rapid turnover mean you should always hold off, always wait for the next big thing? Or does it actually encourage the opposite? Does it maybe push you to constantly engage, learn, and use the tools we have now, knowing that continuous improvement is the only constant, and the real advantage comes from adapting and applying whatever is currently available?